Hello. Hi, Jinnah Saab. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you, sir?
I am doing great. Great. Thank you so much. And thanks for accepting our invite for our new channel. Today, let's talk about you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. It's always privilege for me to be in your shows. Yes, the name is Ameen Jina, and the people from Pakistan, they know what Ameen Jina is and what Ameen Jina means. So actually, I was born on 14th of August, our Independence Day, and I have early education from Australia and England. I was privileged enough, to get some education in ICT. And since '92, I'm in Pakistan. And I'm one of those people who living here by choice. And there are lot of things to do, and we are doing with our team. Yes,
Awesome.
Mustafa.
Awesome. Awesome. So, sir, let's start with very basics, right? Can you share a moment in your career that shaped who you are today? Actually, very basic stuff. Let's start with basics.
Actually, when you have 30, 35 years of experience, there's a lot of, uh, things happen in your life, and a lot of the time came when you make decision.
Hmm.
So back in, if I can put myself with 3 or 4 slots where I took decision, right? The first
Hmm.
one was in, I think around 2000, when actually I realized that transaction is not important, is the actually the human index is important. So that's something I came to know in 2000. So that's why one change in my life. And also in 2000 I start reading Quran in Urdu, in my own language. Before I was reading in Arabic. So of course, it just was a compulsion. You have to read it, but to understand, of course, you should know your own language. So I started reading in Urdu, and life become so simple and so easy since then. So I actually don't sort of feel any pressure I have. Whatever pressure I have, I know some solution will be there, because in every when the night is very dark, the dawn is coming soon. So that's the idea. So that's a change I feel in my life, that, and because of that, I whatever I'm doing, and I'm a bit relaxed, and people knows me. And uh then come little forward, I met Ammar Jafri. That was in 2001, I think. And a lot of things changed my life, because he was focused on CSR. Actually, the CSR, maybe in couple of early years we know CSR, but it's still the welfare is always there. And so we start working on the welfare part, and we done a lot of things. And then he introduced me SDGs. So we'll maybe later on we talk about the SDGs also. So that's how things are happening. So in nutshell, from Monday to Friday, I do work to run my kitchen, and from Friday to Sunday, I do CSR.
Okay. That's great, Ji. That's great. So, what was the toughest decision actually you have made to make yourself professionally where you are right now?
Actually, I was privileged enough to know IT from the beginning in Pakistan. When in '92, when I came to in Pakistan, IT was a bit new, and actually, I was overqualified in 1992 in Pakistan. But now, of course, my education is basic maybe, but in '92 I was overqualified, and actually, someone advised me to offer, because I wasn't getting job. So someone mentioned to me, remove your degree from your CV and apply for the job in diploma, because all diplomas are here. So that's the time I start my journey. And because I'm not a sprinter, I'm a stayer. So I'm a kind of lambi race ka ghoda. So that's why I think I'm very lucky that I'm stable, and I'm working on things. I give time, and I know it will take time. So like SDGs took me 8 9 years, and now people recognize me. People think I'm a SDGs guy. So because you need to be as I said, a sprinter, maybe in my our world, sprinter is not important. You have to be stayer.
True. Actually, the story which you have shared, actually, that very much resonate with me as well. Uh, I was searching a job for last 6 months, and I was not getting any recruiters contacting me. Then someone told me that I have to remove my books, my inventions, from everything from my
Yeah,
podcast, from my
I
resume.
realized.
So now in last 2 months, alhamdulillah, I'm getting a lot of calls. So yeah, you
All
are
right.
right. over education, over knowledge. Sometimes you have to be right at the par where people need you. Okay, so now as you mentioned, you have around 30 plus years of experience. So I think you have gone through all different eras, right? So how did your industry look when you first started compared to what it is right now?
You see, I'm those lucky one who have seen probably all the the generation, maybe like a generation one and two, maybe a little bit, but all the three and four and the fifth generation which is coming up. So I happen to know or I happen to learn, or I'm those one of those who have used the punch card. Used to have a punch card, and then the storage devices. And I remember when I joined the DHL Pakistan. So I was like a senior prime program officer. Someone called me in the down. We were on the first floor. Someone called me from the in the reception that the hard disk is here. So, but nobody was there. So I said, okay, I'll go and take it. So I went there, and when I there, it was a Winchester device, big,
Big one.
hard disk, and maybe something like a 40 kg. So when I came up to my room, all my senior staff was standing because they knew that I made the mistake. So I'm on one of those things, and I work on System 36, the IBM System 36. Like big machine. So I've seen all those. As you mentioned, things are changing very rapidly in the world. But when it's come to Pakistan, things are by and large slow. I won't say like it's slow, it's everywhere. No, maybe a couple of pockets, it's fast, moving the way it's supposed to. But by and large, things are very slow. So that's why we feel me and Ammar Jafri Saab and all of our team, we need to work very hard to convince people to look how the things are moving and how the things are changing, and we need to change ourselves. So that's why uh, in nutshell, what your question was, I don't see any change
Oh, you
in
don't see.
Pakistan. Yeah.
Wow.
People still think, they think computer is the luxury. They
Hmm.
still don't feel ICT is a compulsory or something necessity. They feel is a luxury.
Yeah, you are
It's
right.
my opinion.
It's
It's my opinion, maybe.
that is absolutely fine, right? As part of my other podcast, which is Let's Talk About Data, as I keep mentioning here and there, it looks like I'm bragging, but there's the reality on ground that I have end up interviewing around people from 30 countries,
MashaAllah.
different mindset at different places, right? And the biggest challenge I see in developing and underdeveloped countries are that technology doesn't wait for anyone, but mindset is the one which is the thing which
Yeah.
adopt new thing. So in developing and underdeveloped country, I think that is the reason they have remained right behind the queue because they are not ready for a change. And we all know that change is the only thing which is consistent, right? So when you're talking about this career journey, right, who and what has influenced your career journey the most?
As I said, like when you work 30-35 years, there are a lot of people, come to your life. At times you need them. There's a person who expired yesterday. His name was Dr. Waqar Masood Khan. And he he's one of those, who was a secretary finance for probably 30 years with all kind of, government we had, the military government, the democratic or the technocrats. He was there. He was the finance minister, secretary finance. So when I'm back to from Australia, there way back in '92. So I wasn't getting jobs, so I went to him and he said, "Look, uh, you know what you know what you can do, but not other people knows it. So you need to do something when people realize what you can do. So that's something like I met my mentor maybe in '92. I met Dr. Wakar Masood, late Wakar Masood, and then a lot of people I met Ahmad Jafri. He put a lot of influence on my life. He guided me a lot of things, and I met this person named Arif Rajan from he's a Pakistani American actually, and he guided me a lot. And we won this award. The Pasha Award is the biggest award in Pakistan, the IT award. So I won this award when I made the PCP, Business Continuity Plan. So I was doing this city government project, And the idea came, and that time, I was talking about, not talking about the human index, like rather than working on, the machinery, the buildings, work on the humans. So that idea came to my mind, okay, I'm running this call center who has something like a 75 student, agents, 30, 30, 15, three shifts. So I say, okay, what I do is rather than training people, of course, we have to need training people, but we run through this through the book on the BCP Business Continuity Plan. So I made that book, and the idea was whether I'm in the office or not doesn't matter. The book is there. So if I'm not there, you open the book, and book will guide you. And if something emerging is happening, then the DR side, a lot of things. So that's the one influence I have when I won the Pasha Award. But recently, the first 10 plus years is if someone asks me who's your mentor, it's Ammar Jafri, because he actually asked me to forget everything and work on SDGs, the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. So I took, honestly, tell you the truth, I took that subject because Ammar Jafri, he opened every day. You have a new ideas with him. When you sit with him, you get new ideas. So honestly speaking, I thought, okay, I take one thing, so then he won't ask me. So I took SDGs and I said, look, I will do SDGs, but please, I won't do anything else. So I will focus on SDGs. And he said, okay, you work on that. So since then, I'm working on SDGs. And I took a couple of other projects like Time Stopper and a couple of other, but, focusing on SDGs. And, luckily, as I've done 20 program is probably one of the leading channel in Pakistan, AIY. So I've done one
Yeah.
program, another program is coming up very soon. So we are working on those. So I think that recognition came from the guidance I had from the Ammar Jafri. Look, focus on SDGs. So I'm focused on SDGs, and people in Karachi, especially in Karachi, they recognize me from the SDGs. So in the coming years, I feel that's the something which everyone needs to work, and all the areas, especially yourself, like of course which industry you are belongs to, you are addressing goal number 4, 8, and 9. You need to work on, you need to focus on, of course, the ICT. All the ICTs guys, they have to work on 8 and 9. So that's probably the era I had.
Okay, as you have named SGD, right? Let's jump into this SGD. What is SGD? Where this has come from? Someone from very underdeveloped and background kind of person can see, hey, that hey, this might be a something from lobbyist, and Pakistan is following UN or America. It's not. What is this SGD?
Okay, we have to go. I'll take you into the past, right? Maybe, or,
Hmm,
in 14 years ago,
hmm,
when Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he gave, how the, like Zabta Akhlaq, Zabta Hayat, how, you should, work, and how you should behave, and how you should look after others. So that's the idea came from there. And then in uh, 1990, the Dr. Mehbooballah, he actually in United Nations, he made this, like a notation that rather than working on economics, you should work on human index. And when you work on human index, you need to focus, the how the human beings are, how they are living, their education, their health, and how they are surviving. So we
hmm,
should focus on the human index. So I feel, since then, in 1992, UN had a big session in Belgium, in Brazil, and in Brazil, they had a session, and then they decide this Millennium Index, MDGs, Millennium Development Goals. There were 8 goals in 2000, and from 2000 2015, we need to finish it. Pakistan and a lot of other countries miserably failed because they are optional, so they don't pay any attention. And of course, Pakistan, is one of them. So miserably, we failed. But when this SDGs came, SDGs is compulsory. It's not optional. People don't. It's not realizing that how important the SDG is. I'll tell you one thing. In SDGs we have 17 goals, and ranging from poverty, the health, clean water and sanitation. We have gender equality, environment, the one of the biggest, the buzzword nowadays. And there we have life below water, life over land. We have, institutions, laws, partnership. Everything is there now, because UN is not a It's not a, they don't have any force. They don't have any laws to make. But they have this charter. They make this charter. They tell everyone, look, you need to adopt this. Now, if you write to ChatGPT maybe or UN, can look, if so, what will happen if we don't follow it? What's going to happen? Probably the answer will came. When I wrote to them, the answer came to look from 2031. This will be our charter, and all the countries who have complete those goals, they will be in our priority. So if you from 1st January 2031, if you take any, as a Pakistani, if we ask any education program for United Nations, so they will ask you, okay, have you done goal number 4? And if you say no, we haven't, he said, look, okay, you are not in our priority. We will consider you later on. So probably they will consider. We will wait. Like if you remember in 1971, this the what to say, the carrier was coming from USA, and since then he had never arrived in Pakistan in Karachi port. It never been arrived, but it was declared, it's coming to help you. It's not there. So when we say you are in priority, you have to wait. So that's a one big thing. Secondly, it's mentioned in a lot of paper, a lot of their white papers. You look, the the country's rating will be based on SDGs. So suppose when you are IMF have their own rating. So if you don't comply with the SDGs, your rating will be low. When you go for the loan and all kind of facilities, you won't be considered. And another very very dangerous part is in goal number 14, life below water. You know, like all those carriers, right? They will have an option to go to the filthy ocean if they want to go, and if they don't want to go, they will refuse. They will say, look, you have a filthy, ocean. We cannot come to your country. What you should do, you come to nearest port. In our nearest port, we have Dubai. So just imagine from the airlift, we taking think on by air, we go to the Dubai, and then from there, they take by sea. So these are the challenges we're going to face. The charges will be, of course, they will say, okay, you paid double or triple fare, we will come. So, those kind of challenges we have, and we need to work on SDGs. So SDGs is not something from the lobbyist. It's not something coming from the, yeah, how we normally in Pakistan we say, it's from the, yeah, the yogi chal wagara. No, it's not. It's a fact. We had in 14 years ago, then we had in 1990, and now we have to do it. If we don't do it, we will be left behind.
Okay. So when you say that this will be a criteria, so when you say criteria, I think let's pick up this SDG 4, 8, and 9, which you mentioned, which is very much innovation and data and ICT, where I am tagged in, or maybe I am relevant, right? Let's dig into it. When you say, so I'm doing this two kind of podcasts and I'm doing a job, right? How these things will map over there? Will we need to get registered with our government in Pakistan? And then criteria comes and say, hey, let's talk about data. Let's take that example. Is a guy run by a Pakistani? And that will, so how people, there are a lot of IT companies over there. How they need to register with Pakistan? What is the criteria? What is the process?
You see, uh, the SDGs need to do the compliances by the government, not the individual.
Okay.
Right. For example, take goal number 4, education. So
Okay.
HEC, Higher Education Commission, they have written to all the universities, in Pakistan, कि, look, you need to train your staff with the SDGs, and all the final year projects, it has those projects, they must have relevant SDGs in it. For example, I was invited by one of the, probably leading university in Karachi, and they made a very good, maybe kind of funny situation. He said, look, all the projects are ready, but we missed out this part, the SDGs. So now how we can, plug in SDGs into it? So they give me example here. There's a 5, the girls of 5, they made a traffic signal, traffic light. So when they asked me how we can do it, I said, look, one part you can do it, but still you won't be able to pass. And they say, why? I said, because when you say electric, electric signal, you have a primary source is electricity. So you can cut electricity, you make it secondary, and take the solar or windmill or wind turbine as a initial, as a primary. So that's okay. It's compliance goal number 7 and 13. But you all five girls, so you are, addressing, you're not addressing goal number 5, gender equality, because gender equality doesn't mean that you need to look after a female. No, it's all male and female. So you should have a 2 plus 3, three girls, 2 boys, maybe other, or maybe vice versa. Or if you're doing something where you say, okay, look, this project girls, is the female is not, the feminine is not, appropriate. That's okay. But still, like for example, a project of some like a you have a, some like a physical security. So, okay, you have a male in front, but at office you can still have a the female staff. So gender is equality. So that's why I feel when you say goal number 4, so that's how it works. So it doesn't need to be me as a personally enroll myself. No, my institutions, my house, my neighborhood, we should do something what goal SDGs are saying. For example, goal number 13 and goal number 7, affordable energy. So if I'm using the solar energy, so or windmill, so I am addressing goal number 7, and of course goal number 13, climate action.
But how
So
this data, how this, if you have a solar, how this data will reach to the government, and then when UN come, then they will verify, how they will verify and validate.
you see, very simple. For example, take again HECs. They written to all the universities.
Hmm.
Now, university need to reply back. Hey, look, in my university, we have goal number 4, goal number 5, goal number 6. We have a water, sort of. We have a sanitation, here in my university, and I have this, water filters and etc. So we're giving clean water. So these are the things we are giving. So, so idea is, for example, if you take the banks, so banks have this thing called Green Banking Manual. They have a one manual, and they have written to all the banks. Look, you need to have a green products. You need to have a you need to you give loan to the people who want to buy solar. So, these kind of ecosystem you have, right? When you have it, so you address to your relevant body. For example, you all the banks report to central bank, state bank, and state bank will send details to FBR. Hey, look,
Hmm.
my in my jurisdiction, everybody is doing their compliances. For example, take the goal number 3, health. So all the hospitals, they have a chief. Good thing about SDGs, they have targets and indicators. So, for example, in we talk about the goal number 4, they have a 10 targets, 11 indicators. So you
Hmm.
read 10 targets and you follow those targets, what the targets are saying. For example, you take 4.7, that every, in your institution, in your school or college or university, teachers and the staff or the your student, they must aware of SDGs. So you should have a kind of seminars, you have a kind of event to educate them. So they should know, what they should be doing. For example, goal number 4, you know, you need to revise your curriculum. You need to train your staff. And in Pakistan, you'll be surprised. We have still, we taught go DOS, the this operating system to our kids. And it's not like the DOS is very, very, it's a pioneer, is a first operating system. No, the teachers only, they know DOS. They don't understand Windows. So they're not teaching it.
Okay, this is a very, very good point, right? That again, education system is something which make your
And
generations, right?
I cannot offer you tea, but I can still have a virtual tea right with you.
Go for it, go for it. So it's a very key thing, right? Education is something which make you generations, and you are spot on that in our education system. Unfortunately, I think it's same in all underdeveloped countries and developed countries that it has become a business, right? Now, fine, I'm okay that if XYZ is running education as a business, but I think there should be some authorities who should evaluate their course outline, their book manuals, that which books they are using. So when you say SGDs, am I right to say that just like in IT field we have ISO standards, same like it will be SGD standards for every organization to follow? Is it, are we going in that direction?
No, it's spot on, it's spot on.
Hmm.
Because at the you know in the background, yes, this is the total agenda, right?
Hmm.
Because country like us, very hard to control. We have a lot of issues, so that's why I think the UN, all those bodies, they, because when they introduce goal number, when they introduce ISO, I can give you one example, but and of course after this example, I have a one question for you also.
Hmm.
You have asked a lot of question to me, so I'll have a one question I need
Right.
to ask. So when this ISO came, I was working on this factory called Metabi Towers. They make towers, and we had three units, only
Hmm.
one purchase order, and once a year, and that order give all the enough to feed to our three units. So ISO came in in practice. So I came to my late chairman, and I asked, look, we need to do ISO. So he said, how we got nothing to do with it because it's something American. You just focus on work and forget it. So of course I didn't pay any attention. I forget it. Then after a few months, the purchase order came and it says, do your purchase order and only ISO certified can apply. So my chairman is still then asked me, I said, look, what this ISO? I say this same thing I asked you and you say forget it. So rather than admitting, he said, oh, tell me who's the GM? It's me. He said, your responsibility. It's not my responsibility. I said, but you refused it. He said, you need to convince me.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
true.
your job, right? So anyway, so that kind of thing going to happen in 1st January 2000, or also is very, people don't actually pay attention to it. United Nations, as we speak, they don't have any power. But from 1st January 2031, they will have power. When you apply for something, they say, look, we have guided you to do those rules and regulations. You haven't done it. So that particular agency you are talking about, they're doing right thing. So you cannot complain. Look, United, UNICEF not paying, any of our program to us. We're not getting any education programs, or IMF is not entertaining us. Say, look, they're doing right thing because these are the guidelines. You haven't finished it, so they have right to do so. So you go and so UN cannot do anything. Well, probably they're not doing much to us anyway. But after 1st January 2031, they have this power not to support you. They
So
will have.
a connecting question. My apologies, I am a solution architect,
No,
so I
no,
have
no.
so many
Yeah,
questions. So in ISO, someone comes and say whether have you done the ISO or not. So there are certifications of ISO. There is a data lineage that you
yeah.
have done it. You have sent it to one regulatory body, and they might have sent some people to verify, or they might have scanned your system to make sure whether you have done the real ISO or not. So how this SGDs will be? I'm a Mustafa. I'm running a company. I say, hey, I comply all SGDs. How to make sure I comply or not?
You see, if you, on a Google, if you say UN index, SDGs index, so there is a one whole booklet will come,
Hmm.
and that book come every year. And from 2015, it's coming regularly. And we as a Pakistan, not as a Pakistani, we as a Pakistan, we started from our position was 112, then we down to 117, then we down to 125, we down to 137. Now we are 140. So 167 countries, they submit reports every year, on different, during the year they submit their report, and they have to, there's some deadline, I think September, October, they must have finished all those reports. And based on the report, UN do the ranking. So our ranking is 140. And so as a Pakistani, when you say my position is 140, there another country came to your mind. So what is their position? So I'll tell everyone, look, we should forget about it. We cannot compete. They are far ahead, and we are far behind. So that's a reality. And also give you one example. Uh, uh, a couple of months ago, we had a session at State Bank of Pakistan,
Hmm.
and so they say United Nations, the ambassador was there for ambassador for goal number 5, gender equality, and they said the UN actually, they actually make do the some uh, survey that they are 125 countries, they're not working on goal number five. They're not doing much on goal number five. 125 countries. And we were on 124th. So 125 and we are 124. So when everybody raised hand and the guy says, look, don't ask me who's in 125. You should focus why we are 124.
Mm.
Forget, the one country, you focus on those. So, these are the very big challenges. And people, unfortunately, people not realize, I mean, not people, the government is not realizing.
So
And
how to make this as a norm? Because what I hear from you is, I think this is also for an audience who will look into our podcast, that hey, we are saying that end of 2030, from 1st Jan 2031, if you are not SGD compliance, if I use the word of compliance, then you are not going to get project from international market. Is that what we are saying?
you see, if you take it way back, there used to be a word called
Yeah.
one world, right? So I feel this is the one world is going to happen on 1st January 2031. There is a group of countries who have done all the goals, and then there are a group of countries who haven't done it. So those countries look, for example, if I am the, so just give you example, or anyway, in Pakistan, anybody can give this example that if I become the prime minister, because
Mm.
now anybody can become prime minister, you never know. If I become a prime minister and I say, look, I will do business only countries who have compliances. Suppose if I want to do education program, I say, okay, I will only do countries who have done goal number four. And suppose if I need to import something, and I say, look, I'm going to import who have done, goal number 8 and 9, like a decent economic growth or industry, innovation, infrastructure. Those who have compliances, I will do it business. So it means I'm out of the business. I'm out of the show because
Mm.
that's going to happen. I know because it's written. If you go to the different website or the read the you know white papers, is there because that's why it's been designed. And people, after that, you will be one. They will have this one world. Countries who have done it, country who hasn't done it. So those who hasn't done it, then they have to pay more prices. For example, like in during the wartime, you say we used to pay, I think, $500 for one 20-foot container from
Mm.
all the way from US to Pakistan, Karachi port, $500. Now we are paying 200, 2,000.
2000.
So after in January 1st, maybe we're paying $5,000. And those prices will affect on your prices, your commodity prices. And then you'll be out of the business because you're not competitive anymore.
Okay.
Because, and suppose if USA say, okay, of course, USA, I think probably 67% our import or 70%, whatever the number is. But if our price is high, we are not competitive.
So,
So
so
that's why, yeah,
Yeah. So what we are
please.
saying here is, if I create a lineage, what we are saying is just for a general public, right? What we are saying here is that under PSCB, there are thousands of registered companies. First, you have to be registered company. You cannot be unregistered company. Report is accepted from a registered company. Now, if you are a registered company, but PSCB is only for IT, but there will be other regulatory bodies who have all the other companies, right? Now, what we are saying is those regulatory bodies, annual basis, they ask these CEOs to produce a report, right? Now,
Yeah,
CEOs need to make sure their company are following this all SGDs or not, and they will give you a report from SGD 1 to SGD, I think 18 or 19 SGDs are there, right? How many total are there?
17,
17. So
17.
they will give you a report of 17, maybe in tabular form or on a dashboard format, that each SDGD, how much percentage compliance they are doing. I think they provide to the regulatory body, and everybody complies it and compile it, and then it goes to the prime minister or XYZ. And now when different country comes, is that the right hierarchy?
Yeah, it's all, more or less it's same whatever you just mentioned. I
Hmm.
give example, like I'm belong to this company, right? And we are the distribution company,
Hmm.
right? We distribute FM, fast moving goods, we distribute. Now, we complies with the FBR, Federal Board of Revenue. We work
Hmm.
under FBR, right?
Hmm.
So that's the one. And then of course the SECP, the Security Exchange,
Hmm.
Pakistan, we are working with them. So ideally speaking, we sooner or later they will write to us. Okay, look, you as a company, you need to all those 17 goals. First, you identify which goals you are pertained with. So
Okay.
which goals, in your, for example, as a distribution company, I say, look, because I have a staff of 100 plus. So they say, okay, as soon you say 100 plus, you are directly hitting goal number 5, gender equality. How
Okay.
many girls and how many, the male and females you have. That's one. Secondly, you have 100 people. How are you providing them water? Goal number 6. Do you have a sanitation? Goal number, part of 6. And then there's two part as there's a operation, and then they'll ask, okay, what sort of energy are you using? So we are relying on electricity, right? They say, okay, so you're not contributing anything to goal number 7 or 13, the climate change,
Mm.
because that electricity you are using is created by the fossil fuel, and and they do a lot of of what sort of vehicle you have, so you're doing those carbon emission and kind of thing. So all those things will come. But the I think the good example would be if you come to Pakistan and visit to any exporter in Pakistan, any company who are doing business to, as a doing export business to say US, because they have given the guidelines already.
Okay.
In your factory, you don't have a child labor. In your factory, you must have probably 30-70 or 30-40 combination of male and female. The kind of, suppose if you have this time plant you have, how you discharge your chemicals and your water, you need to treat and then you deposit to the ocean or wherever. So those factories, they are compliances, they have this kind of mechanism. So
Mm.
what I feel, and we'll take the advantage of it, because now they're not aware of the SDGs. But
Mm.
the soon they get the letter, they will say, look, hey, we are providing education to our staff, we are giving health to our staff, we have a goal number 6 already there, goal number 7 there, 8 there, 9 there. We're already doing it. So as soon people approach to them, all the relevant bodies write to them, they will reply back, look, we are following it. So that's why I feel, not Pakistan is, if it's 144, maybe, if the people write to them, maybe they are 100, or maybe, some little better. But again, by and large, we need to work on. And in the last 5 years, of course, we don't talk the politics or anything. I'm not supporting anyone. But there's a one person in Pakistan in 2015. As soon as SDGs came, he says Vision 2025, right? And it's Dr. Ahsan Iqbal. And because 2025 is a time which is running, this is 2025, UN will do their audits. They will ask all the countries that how far you are and how far you have achieved. And they will write to us. Maybe they have already written to us. I don't know, but maybe. And we need to reply back, look, these are the goals we are doing. But there are it's only 3 or 4 goals which we are moving, it's, we're not very, sort of smoothly, but yes, we are moving upward. There are 4 or 5 goals we have no report. And the certain goals we are stagnant. We're not moving anywhere. And there are few goals we are going downward, which is education. And goal number 16 is just strong institutions. So there are a lot of things there. And Mustafa, also another probably a dangerous part for all the students, the upcoming, who join the workforce. Nowadays, when we get the job requirement, it says, look, you must have a degree.
Mhm.
You say, yes, I have a degree. You say, okay, you can think to apply. And then they say, what skills you have? You say, I have this is certification. That's say, fine. Then you can apply. But sooner or later, and I think it's already happening in European countries, they ask you, okay, what goals you have hands on. For example, you are applying for teacher as a academia. They will say you have a goal number 4.
Ah,
You know goal number 4, right? And for example, yourself, you're an IT guy. I won't be surprised then maybe one of these days when person go for an interview, they say, look, okay, everything's fine. But do you know goal number 9?
mm.
The innovation, the industry, the infrastructure. Are you aware of it? For example, if I go as a some medical field as a hospital, they will ask me, do you know goal number 3?
So
And
it means
yeah,
when we are doing our podcast, I can have a logo over there, SGD9.
yes, you can. See, I think ideally speaking, you should have goal number four because you are educated. You are, giving education to us, and we are most of our discussion about education. So goal number four and goal number nine, direct eight and nine. Eight, because if I follow what you have teaching, your
Mm.
data science and everything, so I have a uh, you know uh, good work and strong institutions. I have a good data, right? And then when you say nine, innovation.
What
So
is
I'm
eight? Four is education, nine
decent,
innovation.
decent work, Islamic growth. Decent work, economic growth.
Decent work and economic growth. Okay,
Yeah,
which is fair.
yeah. The goal number, and then goal number nine is industry, innovation, infrastructure. So
Innovation, I
these,
come into innovation. Yeah.
yeah, yes. And goal number four, of course, quality education. So you
Yeah.
already yeah. So
Okay.
these things, you should write to it and in your website, your whatever you're doing. And when you make your PDF file rather than hard copy, right? So you are actually addressing goal number 13, climate action, because you're not using paper, you're
Mm.
not, cutting trees. So
Mhm.
goal number 13 is there. So that, that's why, we educate people. You must have, and you're already doing it. It's not something like we're not teaching you. You're already doing it, but people are not aware of what they are doing.
Actually, yeah. So what you're referring is in our website, in About Us page, we
Yeah,
can very well mention that these are the SDGs we are compliant with, because
yeah.
people will be searching online that who are SDG compliant, only contact them. Yeah, I think it's a good.
And you can put goal number five also, because I'm sure you're not prejudiced to or biased to male or females. You say whoever comes, right,
Yeah.
whoever
Yeah.
qualified or deserve it. So you are addressing goal number five,
Okay.
gender equality. And
Yeah.
because wherever I go in these days, I did this like I'm doing this kind of uh, survey or evaluation for the things called Hunar Foundation.
Hmm.
It's a very very big, a very organized setup. They have 16 campuses all over Pakistan, and so they actually asked me for, they were doing my interview for IT position. But when we are discussing, and then they came to know, okay, look, I'm working on very strongly CSR, very, very strongly,
Mm-hmm.
and SDGs and everything. So they say, look, we are thinking some other position, which is, beyond your the head of being an IT guy, but we are thinking some. But, just we like to evaluate you. So for 5 days, you do some kind of reporting. So I've done all the survey and everything. And then, I realized, the information, I have learned through you guys and Amaj Afi and everyone. Probably, the Almighty selected me for this position
Yeah.
because I have answered for everything. And the guy, there were seven directors there, and they're saying, we are very surprised and we are amazed that you know all those things. So, and also you're not here for this kind of position. You are here for IT. And when we talk about, what this is, and I have to use this thing in two lines in Urdu, right? Then you can translate, right? They say, we need a person जो आईटी के साथ साथ उसके दिल में दर्द हो लोगों के लिए.
Hmm.
Someone, who knows IT and someone who, work for humanity. So I say, look, I don't know, what you are, so you are searching or what you're looking at, but the way I am, Monday to Friday, I work, I run my kitchen, and Friday to Sunday, I work on CSR. And I strictly work on CSR Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and that's what like what we are doing. So I feel they probably uh, I'm sure I will work for them because big company and I can do a lot of things for them. And then I realized and I without your permission I introduced this idea to them. Look, regardless I work here or not, I will develop a one AI lab here because they are different kind of lab here and sponsored by someone. So I talked to my team in Norway and I said, look, we make a IT lab, AI lab, Norpark, Norway and Pakistan, the Norpark AI lab. And then in lab, we have all the AI thing. And then we have a data scientist with us. which already offered to them, look, I have a data scientist, he written books, and your team, because they have, and probably I give you link, honorfoundation.org. I give you send. They have this laboratory, this, there's departments for emerging technologies, and their robotics and do a lot of things, but data science is missing. And they say, because they say we know the subject, but we can't find the right people. We have tried many people. I say, look, I have one person, and we can engage them. We can do online. We can do LMS. We can do teaching. So Mustafa, there are a lot of things there, and I'm glad you mentioned SDGs, and we work a lot of things on SDGs. Sustainable Development Goals is not optional; it's compulsory, and directly or indirectly, it will hit us and will hit us badly. Because if someone, I give you one example, then probably we can move on to other topic. In 1980s, I was in England doing my BTech diploma,
Mm-hmm.
and I was one of the private college. I was there. What happened? Sometime the human resource people come and say, look, all the overseas students, they pay 10% less fees. They have a 10% discount this month because maybe Queen's birthday or maybe something happened or a lot of things. So you get 10% discount. But then there's one lollipop. If it says only for Commonwealth countries. We were out of Commonwealth because Jawala government was here, Marshall was here, so we are out of it. So of course we cannot avail it. And then sometime it came, say, look, here's a job for overseas students. They work 2 days and they get 40 pounds. And that time my weekly grocery was 7 pounds. So I thought, if I get 40 pounds, the whole month free. But then lollipop only for Commonwealth countries. That's going to happen from January 2031. Okay, there is a program, education program, is scholarship free, or what you call in the PhD, I don't know, there's a one bride something, a bride scholarship or whatever. Then it says only for countries who have done goal number 5. Because if your course not been revised, if your teachers never been trained, so what kind of knowledge you have, we have the idea.
Then Jinnah sir, this is a big challenge in Pakistan because Pakistan
Yes,
has only couple of few metro cities. Even though you target metro cities like Lahore, Karachi, Islamabad, Rawalpindi, and let's include Faisalabad and Sialkot as well, right? Other than that, the whole Pakistan is a tremendously difficult task to especially see giving updating a course is one thing. Training teacher itself is an years and years and years and years of job, right? But never mind, let's not go into detail. I think we have a good session. We are already there around 50 minutes. We planned 30 minutes, but it is always pleasure and it is so knowledgeable because when I talk to you, there is no shortage of any
thank,
topic.
thank you.
So I think the last but not the least question is what is your advice with respect, let's take this SGD as well. What is your advice for students, company owners, and I think you have said enough, but just to summarize this at the end.
You see, Mr. Sir, I feel the since we have this technology, since CIT centers we have in all part of Pakistan, 160, say like I won't say cities because we don't have 160 cities, but 160 locations, different locations. We
Hmm.
have CIT centers. We have LMS with us. So suppose if government of Pakistan agreed, yes, our the training need to be done and our course need to be revised. So there's a no time will take to teach them. For example, very quickly, if we agreed, the government of Pakistan agreed, yeah, data science is important. The
Hmm.
data is important. And he said, okay, we gather all the data from all Pakistan. So we have system, we have people like you, and we can give you set of goals. Look, these are information are needed, and you need to fill the form actually. So thing is there, infrastructure is there, everything is there. The only thing missing is the will. The will is required because of course we cannot do it. We don't have that power. But yes, we have the mechanism. to reach out to everyone. It's
Hmm.
just a matter of common initiative.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Jinnah sir. It was pleasure talking to you. I hope this is our first one on this channel. I hope we can have a more regular talks, maybe quarterly or half yearly.
Anytime, anytime. Thank you,
Thank you
Ameen.
so
My
much.
pleasure. My pleasure.
Have a nice day. Take care.
Thank you, sir. Inshallah. See you soon. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye to everyone.